When you remember someone's name, you become memorable. Whether you're an entrepreneur with your clients, if you remember their name right away, when you meet them, they feel like this person really cares. This person thinks that I'm important. And this person is probably going to over deliver on whatever it is that they're offering me. Or whether you're in a party and you have amazing memory and you can remember everyone's name, you make them feel so special. You make them feel like they stood out to you because you remember their name. The reality is, most people are bad with names. How many times have you said to yourself, you know what, I'm good with faces, but not with names? Or you meet someone like, oh, I know this person's name. I know I met them at a party, but I don't remember the name. And it just becomes this very embarrassing circle. It just keeps happening over and over again. But the good news is there is a simple technique to remember anyone's name. I pride myself as someone who remembers every single person's name that I come across. It's incredible. People think I have ninja skills there, but the reality is it's so simple. It's one simple technique. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. The next time you meet someone and they introduce themselves, you are going to associate something very bizarre or extraordinary to their name. Because remember this, people generally, our brain does not remember ordinary things that just come across. If you, for example, if you come across someone named Michael, there's so many Michaels in this world. I have come across 20,000 of them probably. And sometimes you forget. If you just think about the letters Michael, you're not going to remember them. But what if you attach something very bizarre and out of the ordinary to them? So this is what I do. When I meet someone, for example, named Michael, I would literally imagine these wings flying out of them because it reminds me of the Archangel Michael. And then think about that. When you think about something that extraordinary attached to a person, you are going to definitely remember them. Or if you come across someone named Mary, you literally see her, I picture her holding a lamb. Mary had a little lamb. And this is a simple memory technique that I used to remember all my students' name when I was a dance teacher. And let me tell you this, I would say of all the years that I've been teaching dance classes, I probably have come across 4,000 to 5,000 people, and I'm able to remember all of their names. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, what if their names are very out of the ordinary? If it's really out of the ordinary, chances are you're probably going to remember. So I come across students whose name, I come across all different types of ethnicities, and their names are quite different. And say, for example, I had a student named Nadir. Nadir, right? What do you associate Nadir with? There's nothing in the English language that you could associate that with. So I just go with the way it sounds. The last part, it sounds like deer. So I imagine a deer. And then I just put in the N-A in the front of it. So Nadir. And that's the thing. When you start remembering people's names, they automatically feel drawn to you. So next time, this is a really fun coach's corner. It's a simple memory technique. Is whenever you come across someone, associate something that is extremely bizarre or extraordinary to them, because we remember things that stand out to us. I'm also thinking about Tom. If someone's name is Tom, what do you think about? You think of a tomcat or tomcat wearing a crazy hat. You literally imagine these things on them. You probably don't want to mention it to them that you're actually thinking about those bizarre things. Anyways, I thought this would be a fun little memory technique to share with you guys. I pride myself as someone with incredible memory and focus, and I'm not naturally like this. These are tricks and and tips, tricks and techniques that I put into place in order to help me. Also, as a speaker, I have to memorize a lot of things I'm talking about, and I have these really simple techniques that really help me. So if you guys are interested, this is a very different direction than usual Coach's Corner. If you guys are interested in knowing more about memory hacks and memory techniques and how to learn better and learn faster, let me know in the comments and I could do more of them, because this is a skill that I have developed over the years when I studied psychology. I studied memory when I was in university because I was quite interested in it, because I believe that we human beings are all a collection of memories. We learn through memorization. We read books, we forget it 2 days later, but it's important to retain the information. And that's what sets apart all of the extremely successful people in this world, that they're able to remember really well. They have incredible memory. They're able to pull on an associative network and be able to give you information right away. And it's so impressive. And it's not a talent. It's actually a learned skill. So if you guys are interested in something like this, please let me know in the comments. I would love to share that side to me that I have not shown yet. Is a very science-driven side, which I would love to show you guys. Anyways, at this point, I am going to take off. I'm going to see what you guys got. We got Julia Lee in the house. Hello, Julia. So nice to see you, darling. Beautiful. How are things in South Korea? We have Akil. Yes. Yes. I don't know, Akil, what are you saying yes to? Okay. Maybe more memory hacks. That's what Akil is saying yes to. Okay, who else? Tracy Folda's in the house. Tracy is saying, I would love to know more about memory hacks. One thing I do is write it down. Somehow it sticks in my brain that way, if sometimes it's gone in 5 minutes. Yes, so writing it down. So this is how memory works. Memory works as this. You have information coming through to you. You have to encode the information, put it in your part of the brain, and then retrieve it when it's necessary. So this is a long process that happens when you're encoding information and then you have to retrieve it. It's very much the way computers are designed. If you think about it, you input something in your computer, you save it, you put in a file, and then when you need it, you know exactly which file to go to in order to grab it, to get it. The problem with our memory is when we don't actually encode the information properly, it's hard to retrieve it. Or say, for example, you saved a bunch of things, but you don't know where it is. So where would you find it? So Tracy, that trick is good. When you're writing things down, you remember better that way. But sometimes the problem is that what if you lose the paper? So I have tons of memory hacks that I would love to share with you guys. I also, I used to be the kind of person that read one book a decade. That's what I did. And I became so interested in learning that I wanted to read more. And today I actually read about 2 books a week. So I went from reading 1 book a decade to 2 books a week. And I'm able to retain most of the information. I'm able to use it. So just a quick tip for all of you guys who love to read before I get in. I'm such a geek when it comes to memory. This is what I studied in university. I absolutely love it. I studied cognitive neuroscience as well. I'm such a geek so I'm totally geeking out. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to do a whole series on them. And I think it's really beneficial. For all of you guys. So one thing about you guys who read a lot or you consume a lot of information. So right now you guys are on YouTube, you're watching me speak, and you're learning about a simple technique to remember names. So the best way to retain the information is retain it, register the information as if you're going to teach it to someone. So think about how that would feel like. You're probably not just having brute force memorization, you're doing it in a way to teach it to someone else, right? So today, use this trick today. So whatever I spoke about today, one simple technique to remember names, try to teach it to someone you know. The younger, the better. If you have a child that you could teach that to, even better, because you really have to simplify in such a way that you have to teach it to someone a lot younger. And the reason why that's important is because when we are remembering something by just remembering the words, you are not going to remember it. But if you remember something with the intention to teach someone who is very young, like a little 5-year-old, you would have to use different language than the person that you learned it from, than the author. And it actually really tricks your brain in retaining the information and be able to recall it in such a way that is through your own words, which means that you will remember that thing permanently. So that's it. I'm not going to give away too much. I am going to do a bunch of these. Probably I will. I probably will. I don't know how the scheduling is going to work. If you guys love this kind of stuff, maybe I'll do it once a week. Once a week, I'll do a whole series of how to retain information, how to remember people's names, how to remember grocery lists. I think that's important for people. How to remember lots and lots. I have so many memory techniques that I use. How to study for exams. How about that? I had an incredible GPA growing up. So in Canada, we have a GPA system, and the highest GPA that you can get is 4.0. I got a 4.0 all throughout college and all throughout university. And I had a really terrible GPA in high school. So how did I go from a really terrible GPA to having an amazing GPA later on in university? I also want to share with you guys. It has something to do with how I memorized everything. But it's not just memorizing things that you put in your brain, you explode it onto the paper, and then it's gone. No, it's things that you could still use later on in the future. For example, I went to university years ago, and I still remember all of these memory techniques. So there you go. Anyways, I will dedicate maybe every single Wednesday. I will talk about memory and different tips and techniques to help you guys remember things better. Anyways, have an amazing day, and I wish you guys a memorable day. Yeah. And then try to teach this technique to someone you know. See if that improves your memory today. Have an amazing day. Enjoy. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for another episode of Coach's Quarter. Bye-bye.